So NASA landing, is it this one right here? Let's see, follow live as NASA arrives on Mars. Wait, what the fuck? Wow. Where is it? Where is it? Just check Twitch.
Very soon, NASA will be sending a new probe to Mars.
Get the fuck out of here. You gotta play an auto video to get a free view? Suck a fucking dick. I hate you. Just a second. Let me go ahead and open it back up, guys. Sorry. I've got to get inside the dungeon first. Okay, so you guys said it was over there. Let me find it on Twitch. Just pull this over here. Okay, let's see. Where are we now? Okay, browse. Where is it? Is it in just chatting? No, it's not in just chatting. Let me see. Where do I look for this? I don't see any of this. It's on YouTube. NASA YouTube. Okay, just a second. Let me open it up. Okay, it's 40 minutes. Wait, just a second. Let me just wait a second, okay? NASA landing. Okay. Oh! This doesn't look like... Are these the aliens you guys were talking about? Let's see, what are they talking about?
A lot of dust when we land. We need to let that dust settle before we want to unfurl our solar rays. We're 100% solar powered, so it's very important that we get those out.
Well, how can you be solar powered if you're farther away from the sun?
Marco will be out of
I don't think NASA thought this through, guys.
Completely
I don't know, man.
We have to wait 5.5 hours until Odyssey comes by and tells us that, yes, indeed, our solar arrays are out. So we'll definitely have a celebration when we get successful landing, but we're going to have to temper that just a little bit and wait about 5.5 hours to know absolutely for sure we're in good shape.
Oh man, they're better at dragging out content than I am.
Just to run it
this
through
is crazy.
Once again, what's going to happen with EDL? We have the video, the show.
Okay.
How exactly is this all going to play out in 6.5 minutes? And we can roll the video.
Oh wait, 6.5 minutes?
Yeah, so you can see here we're attached to the cruise stage.
Oh
we
shit.
drop that off, say thank you for the ride to Mars.
Okay.
It burns up in the atmosphere. You can see it gets very hot on our heat shield. We're getting up in some places maybe 3,000 degrees
this is
Fahrenheit
like Halo.
as we go through this.
I've seen this
before. We're
before.
on the heat shield for about 4 minutes. That dissipates about 90% of the energy that we need to dissipate before we get to the surface.
Okay.
Then we pop our parachute.
Yeah,
We're
of
on
course.
about 850 miles an hour when we pop the parachute.
That's pretty
We're on that
fast.
for about 2 minutes. Then we'll drop
Typical.
off the heat shield.
Of course.
We'll start acquiring the ground with our radar, very much like an F-16 fighter jet radar.
All right.
The legs will pop out. We'll start descending. We drop for just a second, which is very terrifying for me. Our descent thrusters, we have 12 of them. They're 68
He's
pound
afraid
thrusters.
of heights.
Start thrusting and dropping us to the ground. And slowly, we drop down, going only 5 miles an hour. So in that 6.5 minutes of terror, which is a little less than the 7 minutes, so that's great for me. We go from 12,300 miles an hour at 75 miles above the surface of Mars. We get to the surface, we're at 5.5 miles an hour.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Well, before you go, Tom, there was a couple of pictures we wanted to show you. We have watch parties taking
he's gonna
place
land and
all
it's
over
gonna
the
be there.
country.
All right.
Let's see if we can put
Got
one
it.
of these watch parties up for you to see. This is from Ohio. This is a person who has a watch party. It looks like in a classroom.
That is so awesome.
Isn't that great that folks are watching with us?
Yeah, I know people all across the globe.
What a great surprise.
I really want to put on a good show for them today.
Okay,
All
good.
right. Well, I'll let you back in the room.
I got to get back in there.
I know you're excited. All right.
Okay.
Take care. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the really awkward part where they just sit there and they have to maintain eye contact, and they have that little like weird dreidel thing. Okay, moment of insight. There's 2 solar arrays. That's enough to run a blender. Wow, well that sucks. I mean, this is supposed to be a spaceship, but not a blender. What do you mean? This is terrible.
Okay, let's introduce you to the people who built Insight, Lockheed Martin Space outside of Denver. These are the folks who built Viking in 1976 and Mars Phoenix in 2008.
The spaceship part?
The operations team is there, and Lockheed Insight EDL manager Tim Lynn is standing by. Tim, what's going on in there?
Team's getting really excited. We're just about ready. We're, about a half an hour from entry and the start of entry, descent, and landing. So the team is really excited, focused, but also very excited about
it's going down.
the upcoming successful entry, descent, and landing we're
wow.
getting close to.
Okay.
We talked about the fact that Insight is based on tried and true technology. It's based
Alrighty,
on
boys,
Phoenix,
let's go to work.
But you've had to make a couple of changes for Insight. What were they?
Yeah, we've so obviously, as you said, we leveraged Phoenix a lot. There was a lot of great things that we're able to take from the Phoenix mission, but Insight is a unique mission. It's landing towards the equator of Mars.
Absolutely.
And a number of things are different.
They certainly are.
Where we're landing, we're about 1.5 kilometers higher in altitude.
Yep.
In addition, and so what that's required us to do is actually come in a little bit more shallow. In addition, we're a little bit heavier.
Wait, so does that mean there's water on Mars?
Phoenix was, so we've had to increase some of the strength of some of the lander itself. So the parachute, we have had to increase the strength. We actually deploy the parachute a little bit higher because of some of the differences in our entry timeline, and because of when we're landing towards the end of dust season. So we also have actually increased the thickness of the heat shield.
Oh, there's seasons on
we're
Mars?
About a 1/4 inch thicker on our heat shield.
I wouldn't have expected that because it's Mars.
Sandblasting that we could see when we actually do our entry, descent, and landing. So a number of things we've changed, but we've obviously leveraged a lot from the very successful Phoenix.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get Elon Musk on the stream and have him break this down for us.
So you were able to kind of customize it, because there were some concerns earlier on that there was a dust storm taking place. It was dust storm season.
That's right. In fact,
so Mars is actually Oklahoma.
From our orbiting assets.
That's what you need to
MRO
know.
And Odyssey, a couple of spacecraft that we've partnered with JPL and that were built here at Lockheed Martin. They've actually provided a lot of
death
great
storm?
insight
No, it's not Lord Marrow.
into
Relax.
the weather on Mars, any dust storms that are potentially happening on Mars. And as of today, and actually the last couple of weeks, it's been great on the surface of Mars. We're anticipating a very nominal,
just
very
a nice
seasonal,
day,
weather
70 degrees, no rain,
atmosphere, as well as temperature, and dust storms appear to be
just like I was saying,
very benign. So we're very optimistic it's going to be a great day for landing on the surface of Mars.
All right. That's great news. Thanks, Tim, and I
Sure
know
is.
your team is getting
Thank
excited
God.
over there just as much as we are.
I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay.
Where's the spaceship?
The time now is 11:21. It's about 20 minutes. The tension is
I thought it was 6.
in both control rooms. It's about 20 minutes before cruise stage separation.
What do you mean?
It's not too far off. Cruise stage separation is expected
I'm
in
confused
about 40
here.
minutes past the hour. So we are indeed getting close.
Okay.
So where is Insight going to Mars? It's a place called Elysium.
Look at that look at that keyboard. That's a keyboard from like 1980.
Elysium is ancient Greek
fuck?
for afterlife paradise. It's located near the equator, north of Gale Crater, not too far from Curiosity rover. The team calls it the biggest parking lot on Mars.
Wait, why aren't they pulling the bunks? Whatever,
safe,
who cares?
Got plenty of sunshine that will power solar instruments to study the interior of Mars.
Okay, here's Mars in a minute.
What's inside Mars? We know a lot about what's inside Earth.
Yeah, the
But
secret
Mars,
society
we've
that
only just
runs the
scratched
world.
surface. To learn how Mars formed, we have to study its deep interior.
How do you do that?
NASA's InSight lander was designed to do just that, by taking the planet's vital signs. Listening for its
You need a
pulse,
really big
seismic
stethoscope
activity,
for that.
including any Mars quakes. Taking its temperature to see how much heat is flowing out from deep inside.
That's how you know if it's going to go to school that day
And checking
or not.
its reflexes to see how much the planet wobbles as it whips around the sun.
But it doesn't have any knees.
These all provide clues to what the planet is really like inside.
Okay.
So what's inside Mars? InSight can help us find out by giving Mars its first thorough checkup since it formed 4.5 billion years ago. The more we learn, the better we'll understand all the rocky planets and the history of our solar system.
Okay.
Joining us now is Bruce Bannard, the principal investigator of Mars InSight. InSight is a mission to Mars, but we keep hearing again and again it's more than a mission to Mars.
That's right, Gay. I mean, we're going to Mars, obviously, to study the Martian interior and to map out the divisions inside Mars, but we want to use that information.
We'll go ahead and we'll pause this until they get back into the spaceship stuff, okay? I'm going to just go ahead and mute it right now and just get back to what I was saying, because obviously this is going to go on forever, all right? I want to make sure that we see the other stuff too. Okay. Stalling. Yeah, it's going to take a while for them, obviously, to be able to, you know, get everything together. Scale it on a smaller screen. You know what? I could maybe do that, but I mean, I think that, you know what? I'll do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Just a second. Let me open this back up, and I'll move it down to the bottom. Okay, there we go. And I'll move it right to there, just conveniently in front of my DPS meter. That's perfect. Okay, we're good. Let's see. What is this countdown? Okay, they're on their way. So it should be a few more minutes before the spaceship actually touches down and we see any Martians. Yo, boys, how crazy would it be if there was actually if they ran into like an organism or like an alien on Mars, like on the live stream? I wonder what they would even do. Would they turn it off, or would they like just cut to commercials, or, you know, like, I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about. Draenites that live in Mars? Well, it's basically right. I mean, Outland is basically Mars. Whenever you think about it, I mean, there it is. Like, Outland is the York planet? Well, yeah. But it's like, obviously, I mean, it's red. It's the same as Mars. It's basically Mars, okay? Like, that's all I'm really trying to say. Will we discover Draenei females exist on Mars? If they did, man, like, holy fuck, we need to fund NASA a whole lot better, okay? Like, that'd be the best fucking thing you could ever find out. I'm not really a big fan of the, what do you call it, of the hooves, though. I'll be completely honest with you guys. It doesn't really turn me on as much as the tail, right? And, yeah, I just don't think the hooves are really, it just doesn't really look that good. I've never been into, like, the horse porn, right? And I'm not talking about, like, Mr. Hands or anything. I'm talking about, like, brony stuff. What is this? What is this on the stream here? Is this Mars? It certainly doesn't seem like it. That seems like it's New York. I watched that movie, by the way, the Outlaw King. It was okay, but it wasn't really amazing, okay? It was really good for a Netflix movie, okay? Let me just say that. Unmute. Just a second. Oh, wait, unmute. What's happening? Just a second. Let me pause it.
In mere minutes. Although this fast communication isn't crucial to the success of the InSight lander, this CubeSat test could change the way future spacecraft phone home.
Phone home? I hated E.T.
All right, let's check back with Julie to see if the Marcos are indeed ready to support and listen for InSight.
Okay,
Julie,
here we
what
go.
Do you know?
So they are ready to go. I haven't heard about their slew coming up yet, but they are ready to go. We've heard from them. They're both healthy and they're both doing great, which is just wonderful news. So I think
nobody's on like solitaire or anything. Everybody's actually working
just
there.
A minute.
Well, stand by and listen then.
Yeah, I don't see anybody just like making shit up. Yeah, what a bunch of nerds, dude. They're actually working. Where's Michael Scott when you need him? Look, that's the only guy that's happy. That guy's so happy to be there. Everybody else is like, man, I hate Bill. He's always coming in happy, bringing everybody donuts. I secretly don't like him. Yeah, this is the worst streamer house ever. Exactly. Wow, I'm really glad I unmuted for that. That's amazing. Let me make sure that I read the rest of these donations, okay, guys? I'm just going to mute this right now, and I'll read the rest of these. NASA already censors and cuts the live feeds whenever there's aliens or anything interesting going on. Don't trust NASA. Okay. How do we know that's not true? All right, think about that. How do we know that's not true? Because anytime they cut the feed, there could be aliens. And anytime we see the feed, it's because there's not aliens. What if they have a secret 360-degree field of view, the same as like the Google cars on their rover, and they can see an alien, and they're like, "Oh shit, guys, turn it off, turn off the stream. We've got to pretend like there's not an alien here." And they go up to him, they're like, "Listen, Bill, that's the alien's name. Go over there and hide behind the rock because we're going to show some people some shit on the screen, and they don't need to know about you right now." Like, is that actually what's going to happen? I don't know. I mean, there's no way to tell if NASA's telling the truth or not. Wait, unmute? No, this is from like 1980. I can tell because of that guy's hair. Like, look at that guy's hair right there. Like, he's going bald worse than me, man, and he doesn't give a fuck because he flies spaceships and shit. Like, imagine not giving a fuck so much because you run spaceships that you just let the first half of your head just go bald. And you just say fuck it. Because if anybody's gonna complain, doesn't matter because you're on a fucking spaceship, dude. You work for NASA. Like, you're gonna give a fuck about somebody making fun of your hair. That's the way it is, man. Okay, it's about to happen? Okay, just a second. Let me unmute it.
But you couldn't really do the show until all the audience shows up. So that's what it feels like. So you never really know if you've really done it right.
Well,
yeah, you do. If it crashes, you didn't do it right.
Can we say that, hey, piece of cake, we know what we're doing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we get better at it. There's no doubt. We've learned.
Well, I'd hope so.
Both the successes and our own
How much money do we give you guys every year?
Failures of other missions outside of this country. So those pieces come
Russia
together
sucks.
in our mind's eye. We try to put what we learn together. And just do the best we can.
But hey, they sent a dog or a monkey up into space.
We will learn because we are collecting data on the way down. If something bad happens today, we'll be able to take what we learned, even though we may fall on the ground.
Already hedging their bets.
After getting kicked off the horse, we'll
already
get back
rationalizing.
up, brush ourselves off, figure out what we did wrong, and get back on the horse.
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty. Just very quickly, give us some possible scenarios of what could happen during EDL today, especially during communications.
EDL.
Well, the great news about having communications, there's almost anything that go wrong. There's a very good
great! That's exciting. I'm ready for that.
You know, the parachute has to go right. We know you don't open parachutes on Earth going Mach 1.5 times the speed of sound. You just don't do that. You don't need to in this planet.
Yeah, you'd never
but
hear
we have to, because if we waited any longer, we'd be on the ground. A very complicated radar system has to work from outer space all the way to the ground and look for the ground. What if it locked up on the heat shield? Well, we've tried to avoid that problem. We fixed that problem, we think, to prevent that from happening.
Oh, that's
but
great.
What if we got it wrong? Things like that could happen, and our vehicle could have things bad happen. But we've worked hard to prevent them.
So
at this time, we expect that
close.
the
We're going to go to the
recording has
control room
started.
for cruise stage separation, Rob.
Okay, here we go. All right, boys. We're going to the moon.
I need to go to the bathroom.
I have to go to the bathroom right now. Okay. Well, now what? Is this all they're gonna do? Come on, boys. Let's see some space. Ooh. Okay.
Inside systems, EDL comma.
Go ahead.
Marco is expecting carrier lock at any time. Marco B is reported there in Bent Pipe. Still waiting.
It looks like they made this on Macromedia Flash.
Copy that. Thank you.
From 2003. If the rover's what they're sending in, how are they recording it happening?
Radio Science report, UHF carrier detected.
EDL com, Marco Alpha is in bent pipe mode.
Yo, yeah, what happened? I don't know, but awesome.
Marco Alpha is also locked on carrier.
That's the director in front, telling them to clap.
Systems Ace on inside cord. As expected, the DSN has LOS for inside X-band.
Copy that. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. It would really help my understanding of this if I understood it.
All station Insight systems on Insight core. DSN has lost the X-band signal from Insight, indicated expected cruise stage separation. Standing by for UHF signal acquisition via Marco or Radio Science.
Okay.
We are about 5 minutes from entry and have confirmation we've lost the X-band signal from Insight.
Can we hurry it up?
This was expected because we have transitioned
I've got to
from
get
the
the mount
antenna
at the end
on
of the dungeon.
Stage to the UHF antenna
Let's go,
on
guys.
board the spacecraft. Ground stations have detected the UHF signal, and Marco has locked on the signal. This confirms that InSight is transmitting UHF signals as expected. InSight telemetry through the Marco relay is not expected until about 2 minutes before entry.
Look at that mustache.
That was exactly what
That's a
we were
really
hoping
nice one.
here, that the Marcos are
The vehicle
working.
has also performed the turn to entry maneuver.
It's a really good mustache.
The vehicle is turning away from a sun
Think about
pointing
that.
attitude and oriented itself to enter the Martian atmosphere.
This is a big first step. Getting the cruise stage separated.
This is a real
now,
picture.
After the vehicle turns itself to the right orientation, the cruise stage is now going to be get further and further away until it's about 3 or 4 football fields away, and will burn up in parallel as the vehicle enters Mars.
That's for the Americans. They don't understand distance, so they just measure everything in football
the cruise
fields.
stage has to be pushed off to one side, like this. The rest of the vehicle has to turn to face the atmosphere and to be dead nuts on as it hits the top of the atmosphere.
So this is taking all the heat coming into the atmosphere.
Exactly. It'll be both provide a source of drag, but also thermal protection because it gets over 1,500 degrees Celsius on the top of on this heat shield. Very, very hot. But on the inside of the heat shield, it may be only a fraction of a few degrees above room temperature.
That's a good point.
So it's a wonderful protective device to keep our lander safe.
Okay.
Right, so the next thing we're standing by for is
entry. Getting to the top of the atmosphere, gradually
okay,
slowing down.
boys.
Right now, the vehicle's just
Let's go.
beginning to. Very soon, we'll be beginning to feel the atmosphere touching it. Actually, entry is above the atmosphere slightly, so it's really not until a few. Half a minute or so after entry before we start really detecting the fact that that atmosphere is slowing us down.
All right, we'll be standing by.
Yes, exciting.
Wow. That actually is exciting. I just don't really know anything about like space. Ooh, that's the American flag. We're bringing freedom to Mars. It's going to have its own constitution. You wouldn't see this happen in Europe. Give me a break. Okay, now what? They really don't seem excited about the fact that they're going to land a spaceship. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't be excited, but still. Maybe they are. Maybe they're silently excited.
Entry is scheduled for 11:47. The cruise stage SEP and the entry times are locked in.
2 minutes.
Correct?
They are. They're locked in when we selected the target. And
Alrighty,
aimed the vehicle very
boys.
precisely. That allows us to know exactly when we hit the entry point, which is 55 kilometers from the center of Mars.
So we know those times
The
are
hell is a
locked in, but
kilometer?
what about all the other
How many
events
football
that take
fields is
place
that?
in
Reggie Science reports dropping carrier power as
EDLCom,
expected.
Marco A and Marco B have telemetry.
Please clap.
Just heard, both Marcos have telemetry.
They are doing their job. These small CubeSats are relaying ones and zeros with a few seconds lag from the vehicle up to these two vehicles, and they forward them back to Earth to the Deep Space Network using X-band antennas.
And keep in mind, this was all an experiment. We weren't sure that this was going to work, but we had this need that we didn't have live
What's that idiot clapping?
in this particular mission.
Well, we don't really need communications. We don't need their information, except if something went wrong. We would very much like to get the data right now. We have other
We are now
spacecraft.
receiving InSight telemetry via the Marco relay.
It's flowing
Here we
into
go,
the
boys. Here we go.
That means the team now can watch the data flowing onto their screens.
Easy
as
clap.
If they're commuting
This
directly
data
to the
will
vehicle.
provide detailed information about the state of the spacecraft throughout EDL.
True. Was that funny?
We were on pins and needles waiting for that.
It's
because
hilarious,
we
dude.
weren't really sure.
This is wonderful news. This will allow us to get some. If this continues working all the way to the ground and beyond, we might even see a first picture from the surface of Mars.
Wouldn't that be great?
very soon.
Atmospheric entry on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Here we go.
So in a few seconds, the vehicle will start sensing the atmosphere. I said 22 kilometers from the center of Mars. And it's going to start to slow down very, very slowly at first, but then faster and faster and faster till it reaches about 7 Gs. I made that mistake in the video. It's actually 7 Gs, not 12. And so
now that changes everything.
Very, very quickly slow down. And from 15...
In approximately 1 minute, InSight is expected to reach its maximum heating rate.
Oh, yes.
Plasma blackout is possible during peak heating and could cause a temporary dropout of telemetry. This could last for as long as 2 minutes.
Yeah, the gas.
I feel like I'm on an airplane.
As it's slowing down, it looks like a meteor if you're on Mars watching the streak go by. That brightness of gas does interfere with the radio reception. And so it's possible that Marco will lose that signal while it's going through this very hot entry.
You just have to say polo and it'll come back.
Not to be alarmed. It's part of the design. We completely expect it.
Radio science reports plasma blackout as expected.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Now what?
Ground stations have reported plasma blackout, leaving InSight telemetry via Marco.
Marco Alpha has carrier interruption.
InSight should now be experiencing the peak heating rate.
Wow.
Portions of the heat shield may reach nearly 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit as it protects the lander from the heating environment.
Wow. That's really hot. Holy shit.
That's hot.
Marco Bravo shows carrier interruption, but still in lock.
I told you guys it was hot. NASA guy even agreed with me. I should be in NASA. Oh, now they're excited. They're actually moving around. Okay, here we go.
InSight has passed through peak deceleration. Telemetry shows the spacecraft saw about 8 Gs.
I like how they put their names in front of the...
Radio science reports carrier detected.
In front of the...
Several different communications.
Most people don't give a fuck about the carrier, apparently.
InSight is now traveling at a velocity of 2,000 meters per second.
Seems to have passed this very critical point of peak heating and peak deceleration.
Wow.
The next big step is parachute inflation.
And you can see that on
this guy should just, he should do ASMR on Twitch.
Screen. The next event is parachute deploy.
InSight is now traveling at 1,000 meters per second.
Very close.
Once InSight slows to about 400 meters per second, it will deploy its 12-meter diameter supersonic parachute. The parachute will deploy nominally at about Mach 1.7.
Oh.
Standing by for parachute deploy.
We're going to be on camera today. What should you wear? I'm going to bring my fedora.
Radio science reports sudden change in Doppler.
Ground stations are observing signals consistent with parachute deploy.
Marco Alpha, Marco Bravo, maintain lock status.
Okay, the parachute went down.
Telemetry shows parachute deployment. Radar powered on.
Okay.
Heat shield separation commanded.
Wow. Okay.
This is really good news so far.
It's fantastic.
I'm on pins and needles.
We have radar activation, where the radar is beginning to search for the ground. Once the radar locks on the ground and InSight is about 1 kilometer above the surface, The lander will separate from the back shell and begin terminal descent using its 12 descent engines.
That's a lot of engines. Holy shit. It's more than I would expect. Man, like if that was me, dude, I'd be flailing and flopping around. I guess that's why they don't let me work at NASA.
Altitude convergence, the radar has locked on the ground.
Yes. Oh, it's on the ground.
Standing by for lander separation.
Carrier interruption on Marco Alpha and Marco Bravo.
Lander separation commanded. Altitude 600 meters. Gravity turn. Altitude 400 meters.
We're getting there.
300 meters. 200 meters.
He's going fast.
80 meters.
Damn.
60 meters. 50 meters, constant velocity.
Thought pause.
37 meters. 30 meters. 20 meters. 17 meters, standing by for touchdown.
They have to use touchdown so the Americans understand that too. Touchdown football fields.
Touchdown confirmed.
Oh shit! Wow. Wow. How about that? Holy shit, man. They did the thing.
This never gets old.
No, it doesn't, Rob. Control room just erupted.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Shaking hands with the Marco team there.
Christine, you did great.
This is it. Wow. Oh my god. It's a green screen?
Sandy Krasner.
No. They should have. The only thing, like, the only complaint I have
really
is they should have put a camera on Mars ahead of time. That way they could record the landing. Because that just would have been cool for them to, like, you know, cut back and forth.
Thank you.
Lots of
That's what I would like
going
at least.
on in there. What a relief. We've cut
Okay.
over to the camera over in Times Square.
Wow.
Boy, people are weathering the rain.
Yeah,
to
people
see
are really
this.
excited to see this. That's really cool. I think that's awesome, man. Wow. People caring about, like, space and science and shit, you know? Most of the time they just care about, like nothing, you know? Twitter. That's really cool.
They can't help.
They're pretty excited, man. Oh my god. Damn. Yeah, this is what your tax money is going for. Right here, dude. That's pretty fucking cool, man. It is. Like, I'm like no like troll or like any kind of bullshit. Like, that's actually pretty fucking cool. Like, wait, what? Oh, they saw an alien. They had to turn it off. Just a minute. We've got to refresh it here.
Getting a vehicle from Earth to the surface of Mars is no mean feat.
And Rob, could you talk about that? I mean, just the mere accomplishment here that we're seeing.
So it looks like we'll probably see the rover go online in a minute.
This vehicle is very complicated. It uses 12 engines. Each of those engines are pulsed 10 times a second, producing these little tiny impulses, almost like little bullets that keep the vehicle going at a constant velocity as it approaches the ground, and still going over 5 miles an hour. So those legs
we are
feel
right
a
now.
fair amount of crush. We still don't know the state of the vehicle right now. We need to look to make sure there are no rocks nearby. The solar panels will be in just a few, in about 5 to 10 minutes. Will begin to open up. They're waiting for the dust to settle because the dust.
Here we go.
Certainly, a lot of dust being lifted in the air around the vehicle right now, which is now just settling.
So we're standing by After
okay, here we go.
touchdown,
Now we're going to be able to see what the rover looks like.
A couple of minutes to give us an X-band beep. And so we are standing by for that. It's a communication that comes directly to Earth from InSight.
Yes.
That's right.
And it goes
very true
to the Deep Space Network. There's also something that might be happening
Deep
now
space.
if we're very lucky. InSight might be able
That's
to
where
relay
the dark net is.
An image or a parcel image taken just a couple minutes after landing.
Okay, there
so,
we go.
I'm
so we're right
standing
here.
by,
so
hoping
they're
to see that.
Okay,
but
here we
if
go.
that doesn't happen, we'll certainly get more images later in our Odyssey pass in about 5 hours.
We see Bruce Banner waiting for it.
They're
I don't know if they see it yet.
They're waiting. That's Justin Mackey and Bruce Banner looking carefully at the cameras to see what they might see.
It's the Hulk, dude. That's right.
They're waiting for the image
dude,
to
they're
come
bringing
back.
out the heavy hitters for this, man. We got to make sure we get this right.
InSight itself.
Oh,
InSight is taking a
here
picture
we
with
go.
one of its 2 cameras.
Yes.
It's probably a view of what's directly in front
Come on, open it
of
up.
the spacecraft.
Let's see it.
Right in front of the lander. This is a camera that it would be using to figure out, is this a good space?
Exactly.
Is it a good place to put down our instruments? So it is going to take an image and then send that image to the Marcos. The Marcos in turn will relay it back down to Earth.
That's correct. They got it. Oh, now. Let's wait. Let's see what they saw. There it is.
Wow. It looks like a styrofoam ball you throw out in the ground.
That's a good thing. That's not far from where we'll be able to deploy the instruments.
Okay.
So it's great. I don't see a lot of.
Let's explain that image. Now this
Yeah,
image
let's see, what is
has
this?
a dust cover on top of it.
EDLCom, we have lost a signal
We paid billions of dollars for this right here.
Radio science.
This is on money at work.
on the camera.
For UHF.
So we don't know what I'm looking
Thank
at.
you, everybody on EDLCom.
All right.
Yeah. Yay, Marco.
Good job, Marco. You really did it. Go over there and summon at Freehold, yes.
Congratulations.
Holy shit.
Meantime,
there it is. You can see a better view. You can see that really is debris. And there's the horizon back there.
Ooh, like
bluish
Phase 3
sky.
Blackhand.
That's part of the lander deck on the front left. I can't make out, but it looks like there's not a lot of rocks in the field of view.
Wow.
But those dots you see there are very likely to be dust particles on the lens, the dust cover, which will be removed.
And we'll get another shot.
Yes.
I hope so.
On.
Yes.
Pretty
and a better,
amazing.
clear view after the dust cover is removed. So InSight's, CubeSat's relay communications job is done. They're now flying on. They're now taking pictures back toward Mars. Hopefully, MRO, which flew overhead, might have been lucky enough to capture the descent of this InSight lander under its parachute.
Yeah, they need a better camera.
While this is going on, MRO is flying overhead, recording the data,
they're dressed like
also
flight
monitoring the
stewardesses,
transactions
kind of.
and recording every bit of signal it could.
Well, I guess
but
it makes
also
sense
had the
because
ability
they're
to
in
take a picture,
space.
and maybe like we did with both Phoenix
Okay.
and later for Curiosity rover, we might be able to see the parachute inflated
That
as well.
would be fantastic. Ooh. We are standing by now for that X-band beat.
Yes.
All right, let's see it, boys.
InSight phoning
Here we
home
go.
saying, I'm here and I'm okay.
Less dust on Mars than in your room. Ban that guy. Amazing, see? Just like that. That is pretty fucking cool. Like, all things considered. First, also, no, it's okay, man. It's so fake. Well, the thing is about it being fake is that, like...
Systems Ace on InSight Court.
Like, Lord of the
DSN
Rings is
and
still fake,
X-Men.
but I like watching it. It's fine.
Radio science reports X-band carrier detected.
That's a good thing, boys. Wow. Okay. All right, this is the second picture, I guess.
4.5 minutes with InSight in nominal mode.
Copy that. Thank you.
Flawless. Flawless.
We've got the beep. This was perfect case scenario.
This
in
is
my book.
this is what we
high
really
five.
hoped and imagined in our mind's eye.
Oh,
we spend most
geez.
of our visualizing all these bad things can happen.
That's true.
Sometimes things work out in your favor, and we'll look very carefully at the data to see what might have, how well it went. But it certainly
seems
like
like it
was
went
a very
well.
Successful and perfect landing. We'll have to see as we get more data how well things go, and as the vehicle proceeds, the solar panels will be deployed. Hopefully, we're not on a tilt. It doesn't look like we are, but from the image. But the solar panels will be
Mars
deployed
is
safely,
flat?
we hope, and we'll get
No,
confirmation
because the
of
picture
that
was a
around
circle.
5 o'clock local time here in about 4.5 hours, 5 hours from now.
And this is such a difficult feat
Okay.
in that because of the one-way light time, there is no way that any of these engineers could possibly control the vehicle. It all has to be done in commands and software.
We have to train it to do this work on its own.
Radio science reports nominal carrier. 30
Group
seconds
3, 4,
past the
5
first
to the left.
Acquisition.
He sounds like that guy,
Nominal on
doesn't
the
he?
surface.
So the vehicle is completely nominal, reported nominal. It's happy. The
More
lander
dots.
is not complaining. We had a way to tell us if it was unhappy, and it wasn't. It's not unhappy. It's in a normal mode, and so it's going to chug along for the rest of the afternoon on Mars and finish the activities.
All right.
Wow.
Well, Rob, I know you're anxious to get in and
Yes.
congratulate the
I am.
crew.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sitting here
Thank
and
you
helping
so
us
much.
out.
It was my
Explain
pleasure.
EDL.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll let you go and go congratulate your friends.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Damn. That's fucking crazy. They actually did the spaceship thing. Oh my God. The rover is a normie. Yeah, of course. This cost $800 million? Nuh-uh, no it didn't. That's so much money. No way. What do you mean? That's like thousands of dollars.
MRO Electra on Inside Up. Opto loop recording completed.
It's
at
millions actually of dollars. It's even more.
20:34.
Okay, so then now what? Oh, can we have somebody tank? A cruiser Spurgward, can you guys tank? Sorry, I didn't realize that I was supposed to be tanked, but I'm actually not. Well, I am, but I'm not. Okay, so I'm not sure really what's going to happen here. I'm pretty sure they're just pretty much going to chill and wait for the stuff to come up. Tech support? No, dude. It costs $200 million to send troops aboard. There's no way, dude. $828 million. How many Lamborghinis could that buy? Like, you think about that, like, you'd either have, like, a bunch of Lamborghinis or one space rover. Yeah, it's about a dozen. Somewhere around there, like, give or take another dozen. Okay? I'll put this all the way down here, and if they get to something else, we'll go from there, okay? Their budget's $19 million. Oh, for this? I mean, if you guys want a real talk, I feel like it'd take more than $19 million to get this thing to work. Like, maybe that's just me, but I assumed that it would be a lot. Okay. The rover is faster, though.
As we had promised, we said we'd bring back the administrator to get your take on what was it like to be in that control room. Jim, what was it like?
Well, I'll tell you, it was intense.
Yeah.
And you could feel the emotion. It was very, very quiet when it was time to be quiet, and of course, very celebratory with every little new piece of information that was
I'll
received.
fucking bet.
It's very different being here than watching it on TV, by far. I can tell you that for sure now that I've experienced both.
Because the people there know it's not real.
You know, what's amazing is as soon as it was over, I got a call on my cell phone, and it was the phone number was all zeros. And whenever I get a phone
Donald
call that's all
Trump.
zeros, it's got to be somebody important. I answered it,
and
it was the vice president.
Oh my
God! He watched the whole thing. He
Come
is
on.
absolutely ecstatic about our program. As you're aware, he's the chairman of the National
How's he so
Space
excited
Council.
about it?
And he's been.
I thought
of
the Bible
course,
said that Mars
a keen
wasn't
advocate
real.
for what we do, and to have him call within seconds of mission success is tremendous. And just so everybody knows, He wants me to say congratulations to everybody here at NASA and all of our international partners and everybody who has contributed to this mission. What an amazing day for
Well, we
NASA.
know it wasn't Donald Trump that called because he didn't bring up crooked Hillary.
That this is something that is happening millions and millions and millions of miles away, and these people are able to do it.
Incredible. And what's fascinating is the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking every milestone is something that happened 8 minutes ago, because that's the time lag to get a signal from Mars to Earth.
Yes.
And so it's kind of it's
like
exciting,
stream delay,
but then
except for
you have to
it's
step
8
back
minutes.
and realize that this has already occurred in history. So it's a unique experience, incredible, and just the enthusiasm here is incredible.
So what's for the future?
So what's now?
Looking
Okay,
ahead,
let's find out what's going to
let's
happen
get through
here.
December. So for the rest of this, we think about what's happening next. December 3rd, we're launching another American astronaut to the International Space Station. So that's going to be a big achievement, and it's going to be on a Russian Soyuz rocket that the last time we launched a human was not successful.
That was scary.
It was scary. But we figured out what the problem is. We're moving forward, and now we've got that underway December 3rd. Going forward from there, we're going to get the first science data back from the Parker Solar Probe on December 7th. So that's not too far away either. And then we've got OSIRIS-REx that will be in orbit around Bennu shortly after Christmas. So no shortage of exciting things. And then on January 1st, we're going to fly the New Horizons mission, which for people who are not aware,
okay, I'll just go ahead and I'll move it down to the corner. I think that's basically all of the interesting content for now. I'll move it down here. If anything happens, guys, just let me know, okay?
Still going strong.
Just a second.
It's in what we call the Kuiper Belt now, which is an asteroid belt.
Yeah, that is the Space Force. That's what he's talking about. That's why, obviously, Mike Pence was happy about it, because now that we know we can do that, we can bomb Mars too for oil. So it's going to be great. I'm pretty excited for it. Absolutely amazing. A phenomenal victory. Truly great. Open a video. Interesting stuff in space. Oh, is this it? Just a second. Let me pause it. What are they saying? I thought you said this is interesting stuff. This is literally a screenshot. There's no audio. I turned on the audio. Like, it ended. Oh, did it actually? Let me go ahead and refresh. Yes, it did end. Okay, I didn't even know that. All right, thank you guys. Now I actually know that. All right, good. Let me close that, and now I can just get back to playing. Okay, it bugged out. No, it's okay, man. Yeah, it's hard really for me to know if people are just like that's why a lot of streamers don't read chat, is because they just they say things that aren't true, right? Imagine not live streaming space in 2018. I guess if I ever went to the moon, I would want to live stream being at the moon. But I feel like it would get really boring fast, because you jump around and it's cool, I can jump a little bit higher, and it's now what? And probably try and eat a moon rock, okay, get that out of the way. And then what do? Oh, you have to put down the flag. I forgot about that too. Yeah, so we put down the flag, and then we just call it a day and go back into the spaceship and just play some WoW, see if we have good enough internet to play it from the moon.